See if you're going to put this compression part, make sure that you go well past this part, because if you put this in here and you clamp it about here, you could crack this here plastic IFP chamber. So what I like to do is go a bit lower. You can always just check here, but the threads are going to go down, so it'll roughly end up about there or just further down. So I always go a wee bit below that, and that there will stop you cracking it. Also, make sure the hole is facing you, because we're going to bleed the damper and oil is going to go out everywhere, so make sure it's facing you. But you can block it slightly with a cloth, but do not like block the hole completely over. Just put like a cloth with this side. I'll show you here. Just do it like that there, so it doesn't going to come out and hit you all over, because the oil is not good for you. And before you actually do this, make sure your rebound, make sure the rebound and the high speed rebound is at the fastest. Make sure they're both fully open, which I'm just going to double check. So closed will be this way, fully open will be this way. And then the same with this, just double check. There we go, fully open. So when you pour this oil in, you don't want to fill it completely up, you want to fill it a quarter of the way. And the reason for that there is so as you can get the room, like the start of the bubbles out, get the air out of the system. So just going to fill it up roughly to about there, and then we're going to cycle the shaft a few times. And you can see in there, I don't know if you can see on the camera, with the AFP and all, and your rebound, everything's in there. Sorry there. So whenever you're putting this oil in, you only want to fill it a third of the way. You don't want to fill it completely up, because we're going to do like a self-bleeding on it. See if we can get this light on a bit better. It's going to be hard to see, like, but if you can see on the camera, you probably can't because it is hard to see, but we're going to cycle this shaft up and down because there's bubbles. I'm just going to pour this a wee touch bit more, just a wee touch. I'm going to cycle this here underneath, make sure you are in the fully open position. And just want to cycle this up and down until there's no more bubbles. And then just want to take this wee light here just to see. Right, let's see if we can see us on the camera. Next time I do a Fox service, I'll do the whole talking the whole way through it to do it properly and go over all the tools too. So in here, you're just cycling this up and down to get all these bubbles out. Do not press press the PVC right past the oil because you're going to reintroduce air and then you're going to have to start all over again. So piston comes up to about there and then just slowly cycle this up and down again. Do not push the piston past the oil or you're going to introduce air into the system. Can't stress that enough because it's quite hard to do. And your damper should sound pretty silent, it shouldn't be too loud like. There's still a few bubbles coming up. And do this nice and slow, do not jerk it down fast because that will put also air into the system. I'm going to hard this up a bit, so I am, and hopefully you can see it a bit better. Don't want to clamp it too hard because we don't want to crush the piston or anything. Let's see if we can see this a bit better. Yep, still a few bubbles. Alright, I know you probably can't really see it on camera because I don't have my tripod and all set up, but I will set up properly next time. So all I'm going to do is just lower this back down again. Right there. Make sure that hole is facing. And we're just going to keep cycling until the air comes out. And once you're happy with the blade, just do one more wee time just to double check it. Once you're happy with there, then what you want to do is pour the rest of the oil in till this comes out to here. So once that oil comes out, you don't need to put it any more in. Now what you want to do is put a cloth, because it is going to go everywhere. Now you need a bit of force doing this. Now what I do is, before I insert this, is I like to put a wee bit of oil on this here, just a wee bit. Alright, as you can see here, just to get the process started. Now before you put this on, make sure your high speed compression is fully open, so fully left, and also make sure your low speed compression is in the fully open, and it is. Now what we're going to do is put the lid back on, so you don't want to spill this oil, it's very dear. So what you want to do, make sure you're wearing your safety glasses, especially for this part. What you want to do is, this IFP, you want to roll, because this seal is easy broke. You want to put this canister, now oil is going to, look, when you're putting in, oil is going to come out of this. Do not block the hole completely, just cover it a wee bit like this. And as you can see there, that seal wants to lift up, so nice and gently just roll it in. Alright, nice and gently roll it, just to get that seal past to that point, because this is a very critical seal. This is the one that always fails on these. It's the first one to go, it gets the most abuse on the compression. Alright. Alright, and just rock it, and then what we're going to do, we're going to push for the IFP down, past. There we go, and you're going to see more oil come out. Don't worry, this is totally normal. As you can see there, that's why you wear your safety glasses. Right, more oil is coming out, more oil is coming out, and it's bleeding. Alright, nice and slow. Take your time over here. Alright. This is totally normal. Alright, nice and slow. Alright, because as we're lowering this down, we're bleeding the system. Now before we do anything else, dry these threads. And what we're going to do is, we're going to put blue Loctite on the threads. Now you need to be really strong for this part. You need to be really strong. Now we're all in the fully open, but when we're pushing down, we'll have to turn to at the same time to lock it into the thread. And always put the Loctite here. Don't put it like over this part with a hole, because it could run down into the hole. And then just put a bit here. And a wee bit there at the other side. There we go. Alright. As I said, this part is hard. You need a lot of force to do this. So you can push with this, but I prefer just doing it like this here. I'm just covering this here. So make sure that we're past. Alright, now start pushing. Oil is coming out, as you can see. Oil is coming out, oil is coming out. We are bleeding. So just cover here. It's going to take a lot of force for us to go in. Alright. Keep that force down, because it is very, very tight. Make sure you turn this a few times, because you want to catch the first few threads. And we know we've caught them, so we can let go a bit. Now, slowly do this, because we're self-bleeding still. See that? Oil's coming out, so do this nice and slow. Hopefully you can see on the camera that oil is coming out. Nice and slow. Do this fast, you're going to put air into the system, you want to do it nice and slow. And there's a lot of threads on this here, so we're near the end because I can feel it. nice and slow. That's why you want chamferless edges, so as it doesn't slip on you. Park Tool do a brilliant set. You'll pay about £160 odd for it, and it's totally worth it. You get the whole socket set, Allen key set, Torx splits. You want the best of tools like when you're doing this stuff, because these dampers are not cheap. Right, so once that stops, torque wrench 16.9 Newton meters. You need to do that. So we're going to take this here off here first. Get rid of this here. And the only reason I'm taking this out now is just to get the torque wrench out. Careful you don't scratch anything. Now before I put this down, keep it upright. Do not let it go down sideways. The oil could run out because it's self-bleeding damper. So before we clamp this back in, because the oil went out, we need to respray up isopropyl alcohol. If you don't do this, then it's just going to slip and you'll not be able to tighten it. So make sure that's well and clean. And then just give that there a wee wipe roughly over where you're going to clamp. And we're tightening this here to 16.9 Newton meters. Alright. .9 90-degree angle. There we go. That's us. Now we're not finished yet. What we need to do, loosen this here so you can actually compress it. We want to be able to compress this shaft. Now we need to cover this again, but we need to be able to compress this third of the way up, not the whole way up, because it'll get your oil level just perfect. So just cover this hole. It will take a wee bit of force to do this. There we go. So we're only going to cycle it up to about roughly right there, and oil will come out and then let go, and that'll give you your perfect oil level. And then to test everything's working, although you're going to lose a bit of oil doing this, but you can test it. Just to make sure the rebound and everything's working, which I know it is going to work anyway. So to test the compression, your low speed compression, turn that clockwise. And once it stops, don't force it, and then push this up, and you can already feel that is harder to press. Yeah, you can feel that already. It's working dandy. Yeah. It's working. I know the high speed compression is going to work, but you need that on the bike to really push down on it. Low speed rebound, that's going to be the same thing, that's going to work too. So the rebound is super fast at the minute, so it'll rebound quick. So what we're going to do is we're just going to close the rebound off, the low speed rebound, not the high speed. And this will slow right down. If you've done the bleed right, it will. And you can see that's kind of sticking there, so that'll kind of stay in its position. As you can see, it's moving really slow, so just going to push it up a wee bit more, and that's harder to push, so you know it's working right. And then when you turn it onto the left, what do you see, it'll start coming back again. As you can see, rebounding perfect. I don't want to do that too much because I don't want to lose enough, like a lot of oil doing it. There we go. Make sure she's there. So that's how you bleed a grip 2 damper. Not hard to do, but you need to know a few steps on what you're doing. Safety is the most important. Wear your gloves. Eye protection too. You don't want any of that shit in your eyes, you know. And then when you're done, spray it down with isopropyl alcohol. Don't spray the alcohol inside the hole, just spray it over here and then wipe your cloth up and down it.
was fading, nothing clear. Lost in silence, held by fear. But light returned, I felt it true. The reason why was always you. Because you. I'm still here, but not the same. Only rhythm, no more name. Just feeling.
Just check all these are working. Yep. Go. Make sure you've got 8 clicks, so one, just make sure, 1, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with 8 clicks on the high speed compression, leave it in the fully open. You should have 16 clicks of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the final turn, that's it, and the lock. There's always that there wee bit, see when you get to the 16, there's always that wee bit extra you can go do not force it because you could lock it into place. So back it out fully open. There we go, stop. All fully open. Our dials are working perfect. Now what we're going to do, put the lower legs on, and then we're going to fill the lower legs up with 40cc of what do you call it, 4-weight oil, and then we're going to load 20cc of Fox Gold fluid in the other side, because both of them take different oils. That's why at the start, whenever you see me soaking these foam rings, I soak them in 2 separate oils, because they take 2 separate oils. You can soak them both in 20-weight gold, but this is the way I like doing it. To make your job easier, make sure that surge clip is definitely in at the bottom before you put any air in. You only want to put a wee bit of air in, you don't want to put too much in. Just enough so it's easier to get the lower legs on. Alright, so we're completely empty of the air, so there's about go about 30 psi. And then what you want to do is turn these facing you. Make sure everything is solid. This is quite hard doing this here, lower legs. Make sure we're all in the fully open, which we are. And double check they're not pinched. You should be able to slide them up and down without any friction, which we can. And then what you want to do, invert these. So they're up like this. Add them into place. Now, before we put the oil in, we need to put these lower legs back a bit again to inject this in. So 20-weight gold, that goes on the other side. So your other side is where your air cap is here. So that will be your left side. And all you want to do is hit that in, push it in. Make sure you get all that in. Make sure it's there. That's one done, and then the other one, 40cc. There we go. Now that everything's back together, because we've put already a bit of air in that, what we want to do is take this off, and you want to equalise the chamber. You're going to hear like a wee hiss noise, so you just want to cycle this fork a wee bit. Make sure we're all in the fully open position now before we do anything. Yep, we are. That's our stop. Yep, stopped. We're open, yep. Hear that wee tss. Man, they feel unreal. That's all it is, just getting past that. So every time you're cycling this up, you definitely want to do this. So we're going to pump the rest of it up to my desired pressure, which is 110, but we need to keep doing this here now and again, pumping it up and then like cycling it until you reach your desired pressure. If you don't do this and you just completely pump it up, there's going to be too much air in the chamber, and your fork will feel terrible. I'll tell you, it's possible to be able to service your own suspension, but I think the best place probably in Northern Ireland to service them is MacMonkey down Belfast. They're down in Boucher Road. They're absolutely amazing set of fellas. So they know what they're doing. But they can order you a lot of stuff. But if you're not looking to do this yourself, bring it down to them. Them boys know what they're at. There's great selection of bikes, parts, loads of stuff. Also, they're a Hope dealer, so if you're looking at any Hope stuff, they can get you it. And we're just doing this here just to get past that. Yeah, we're near there. You'll know if you haven't done this right anyway, because your fork will feel really hard. It'll not be super soft, it'll not be supple. It'll act like a pogo stick and you'll not have much control over your dials, you know. So we're gonna go up to about 80 psi and then we're gonna do it again. Right. I'm gonna leave the shock pump on just so it's not have to unhook it. Just be careful. There we go. Just doing that there every now and again, hearing that wee hiss. You only need to do it a few mil into its travel. If you don't do this, as I said, it's going to feel crap, no matter what service you've done to it. And then same again. Just hearing that there wee initial. One more time just to try it. Yeah. Man, them forks feel amazing. See, after you service them, they just feel like new again. As if you bought them from the shop. They are very expensive. These forks, when they first came out, were over 1,300. You know, they're probably up to about 1,400 for the gold ones now, you know, maybe more. But they're absolutely amazing. You know, I've had these from the year 2021 and they're still running as sweet as a nut. All the parts and all they're the original parts. As long as you know how to look after them. So there's my desired pressure, 110 psi, so we can unhook the shock pump. And then before anything, just do this here again one last time. That's it there. Once you get past that, that's it. Man, they feel unbelievable. Like new forks. One more thing before we start. wiping this down with isopropyl alcohol before we finish cleaning it completely. There will be a bit of oil coming out here. That's totally normal after service. It's just a wee excess of the SRAM butter coming out. That is totally normal. We just want to make sure that the dials are working completely. So first what we're going to do, make sure everything's in the fully open. Same as the rebound, just take this wee cap off. Make sure we're in the fully open. We are. Or with a low speed rebound too. Make sure we're turning that and everything's alright, yep. Right, so when they're fully open, everything's going to be softer. That's working. Now we're going to test the high speed compression. Oh yeah. That's working. And then we're going to test the low speed compression. And then we'll test the rebound after. There we go. Oh yeah, big difference there. And then we're going to test the rebound. So high speed rebound, close. Yeah. And then this one here works better when you're actually on the bike and hitting it down. You'll feel the hell of a difference. Yeah, way slower. As you can see there. You can see how slow that rebound is. Two, three, four. As you can see, it speeds up again. I'm going to put these in the fully open. Everything is working as it should. And there's one final thing we need to do. Is we need to completely wipe this down with isopropyl alcohol. So we need to loosen this off just a wee bit here. Now, if I know everything is working right, then what we're going to do is put our settings back to where I like them. So, really closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I run 10 clicks from fully closed on the low speed compression. And then the rebound, 4 clicks each. So fully close them off. One, 2, 3, 4. That's how that's on there. Perfect. Put on the covers. On your dial, your air cap, and then what we're going to do is spray this whole fork down. So the way I do it, I start off from the stanchions, get that remaining oil off. Also what you can do is put your wee cloth in here because there'll be excess grease around them dust wiper seals. Same as the other side. And then the rest of the forks. Grab that here, go around the crown. Spread lures. Give us a good soak. And the good thing with isopropyl alcohol, it dries very quick. And that's why it's the best thing to use for whenever you're doing suspension work on your forks. So if you own your own bike, you own your own fork small, you know, it's possible to be able to service these, but the tools are quite expensive. You need to go to Fox and order them in and all. And you can get them on Amazon too, but to do it, it is dear enough. Or you can just send them down to MacMonkey or send them over to Fox and they'll service them for you. But I like doing my own forks, and so everything is working as it should, everything is clean, everything is spotless. And the reason why you make sure everything is super clean, make sure there's no leaks, even though you've done the service, make sure there's no leaks coming from the bottom of your fork or anything like that. And know that there's no leaks coming from a dust wiper seal. That's why you clean everything. So that's the Fox 38 Performance Elite Fork 170 Travel. Grip 2 damper, fully serviced, running as it should. And just to test it on my settings now. Perfect. And that's the way it should be. Perfect. No leaks, no nothing.